Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tarot King the Prophet, back with another Crown King Tarot presentation. About to do this Cancer Tarot reading. It is September 2025. And those that know that I always start my readings out with a fortune cookie for my roses. These are the fortune cookies. You are my roses. Alright? Without further ado, let's get this thing started. Take me a little sip of coconut milk. A little coconut milk to get the day started. Let's see what we have here. Off the Damon Tarot deck, we have Viewer. What does Viewer have to say to Cancer today? Focus on science, especially medicine and dietary concerns. Focus on science, especially medicine and dietary concerns. There. Let's go to this Moonology Oracle deck. See what they got to say to Cancer, as well as get the number for the day for Cancer. Full Moon, surrender to the divine. That's a big card right there. It's a big card, Cancer. Five is your number. That is the number of instability, but don't worry, it doesn't mean that you're unstable. It could be a situation that's unstable. It could be you that's unstable. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point, or part of the point, to help you gain insight and gain a drop of stability. Surrender to the divine, full moon. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agree? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They are very likely close to the surface. No matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card, matters will soon conclude and you will find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. The attunement to the moon, Cancer, is I am getting the answers I need. I am getting the answers I need. Surrender to the divine. Oh, that's right. Alright, and then finally, we pull a few message cards very randomly. Might want to hold on to this one. You don't have to be bigger than this situation. You don't have time for this. Sound like a little walking away going on, Cancer. Alright, once again, those that know, I use the Wildwood Tarot deck. I have a little deck and I have a big deck. They're both the exact same deck, except for I use the big deck to lay out the main general energy for the whole reading, and also the energy from the past, present, and the future. Then I come back around with the little deck and do some clarifications for the past, present, and future, and also summaries for the past, present, and future. Then I come back around to the big deck for a final message from the universe. Alright? The card fall, but it didn't flip, so we ain't gonna trip. With that being said, here we go. 15. You got your opposites energy, Cancer. This is Capricorn energy all day. I have a Capricorn. I don't think I have any Cancer placements. 15, the Guardian in reverse. That's about running towards something, Cancer. It's crazy because I just said, you know, it sounds like some walking away going on. You got your 5, that wonderful 5 we were just talking about, but that's in reverse. You know what I mean? Walking away for something to possibly keep your peace and maintain your stability, maintain some sort of stability. You know, and this is probably something new to you, Cancer. It's probably a brand new start. You know what I mean? You probably find yourself in situations where you want to kind of just hold on. You know what I mean? And you stick around and you put in effort and put in effort and put in effort, and all the while you losing your time, you losing your peace. You know, but you feel so much emotion. You know, you are so sensitive to a situation that you just, in your mind and in your heart, you know that you can make these things better. But sometimes the only way to make them better is to not make them at all, to walk away, to leave these things alone. That was pretty defined for one card. All right, so let's go into the past, the present, and the future. In the past, we have the 20, the Great Bear. This is about taking a risk, taking a chance. All right, taking a risk. And the way this is going on, the way this is looking already to me, this is almost like, you know, taking on a business venture or something like that. You know what I mean? Or get into a relationship with someone. You know, it's always, you know, it's not always one of those type situations, but it's one of those things where you just, basically, like I explained before, you just kind of just keep trying, you know, and I'm not just talking about the past right here, I'm talking about everything. It's like you keep trying and trying and trying, and, you know, you're hanging in there and you're taking those licks, Cancer, you know, and, yeah, it may be a situation where you need to back out of something, but you're taking a risk, you know what I mean? Maybe there's some, definitely some sort of investment, whether it's emotionally, financially, physically, whatever, you know, some sort of investment that you decided, because it's about choices as well, that you decided that you're going to partake in. You know, and I feel like the All had a lot to do with this. It was something that the All wanted you to see. You know, definitely a lot of divine going on here in this reading. Coming to the present, here you are holding up self-sustaining walls and you feel stuck. You feel like you can't move. You probably feel like you can't breathe. You know, there's not a lot of opportunity for you to drift off and do other things, or for you to catch a break, for you to catch a little peace. You know what I mean? Because of this investment, because of this risk you had taken. You know, and they're not giving you any space. They're not giving you any room. You know what I mean? And you feel obligated. You feel like it's your time, like it's your position to hold these walls up, but these walls are holding themselves up. You know, it's just really just not even working out, Cancer. You know, and it's interesting. So this is the present. You see this woman in the present, and I'm gonna go into the future. Same woman, right? Same person. And mind you, these cards are androgynous, you know, so regardless of what character is on the card, you know, it could be a man, woman, whatever, it still represents you, okay? Back to the present, you got this 3 of stones, you know, and that's what I was saying about there's a lot of divine in this reading, you know, that 3 represents the divine, it represents your ancestors, guides, and things like that, something more divine. And then you have this 7 in the last for the future, and that kind of represents heaven and earth. All right. But in the future, you have this card of insecurity. You're taking shots. You're starting to lose that forward momentum that you were having. You see what I'm saying? It's just almost like things keep happening, and these things are happening, Cancer, because you're going against the grain. By all means, you have to stop going against that grain in order for these things to work out for you. Okay? Let's get some clarification. And this reading. If you watch the preparation video, you know I've already shuffled. Sorry, YouTube, not uploading the preparation videos. This is all on Facebook Live. All right. So, in the past, uno, dos, tres, we have the two of balls in reverse, the four of balls right side up, and the great bear in reverse. You felt really good about this investment. You know, for you, there was no other choice in the matter. There was no other way to go. It just seemed like a sure thing. And, you know, and to remind you, when I was talking about investment, I'm talking about emotionally, physically, financially, whatever. You know what I mean? We could be talking about an investment emotionally in a person, or maybe even financially in a person. An investment in a business, or, you know, it's just, you know, a friend, or, you know, something to build. You know, at the end, it was something to build you, to build yourself. It didn't even feel like a risk. It felt like, you know, you had all the tools that you needed. You know what I mean? And you can do exactly what everybody else is doing. You know, it's almost like, you know, this works out for so many other people. It's got to work out for me. I can do this. I got this shit. You see what I'm saying? So you jump out there and you take that risk. You see what I'm saying? But once again, it feels so second nature to you that to you it's not even a risk like that. You know what I mean? You're all good. You know, you have absolutely no problem jumping into this situation, jumping into this, making this choice. You have 3 tools going on here, you know, but 2 of your tools are in reverse. You see what I'm saying? The main one was all about about taking the risk, about making a decision, making a choice to go where you're going, where whatever you decided to embark upon. You know, the other tools are in reverse. You know what I mean? It just made you feel like, you know, like there was no other choice. You know what I mean? This is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And then you had that 4 right there, and it just felt like home to you. You know what I mean? You felt very grounded in this situation. Coming to the present, you have the 3 of arrows, the 10 of stones, and the 9 of arrows in reverse. 3 of arrows, 10 of stones, and the 9 of arrows in your reverse. Some of you guys, there's a force that's kind of just like stopping everything. You know what I mean? It's working. It's just kind of just working against you guys. You know what I mean? It's 3. You know, that's the number of the ancestors. Once again, the number of the divine. Once again, and this 10 is about completion. All right, and then you have this 9 in the verse, and the universe is just like, I don't want anything to do with this. You know, we're gonna allow. I don't know if y'all hear that water running in the back. That's the washer. I left the damn door open in the laundry room. About free will. You know, I think somebody got. In the end, the things really just aren't working out for you. You know what I mean? Once again, it's something that's working against you, and it's their choice to work against you. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, for some of you guys, this is somebody. That's somebody who sees what it is that you have, and it's somebody that's very, very close to you. They see what it is that you have, and I don't want to say like they're spreading rumors or anything like that, but they haven't made it their mission to make sure that you lose or anything like that, but I don't know, it's like they wishing it upon you. You see what I'm saying? But it's so much envy and so much disgust in it, you know, in what it is that they feel, you know, that those wishes are strong. You know, like Poltergeist strong. And all you want at this point right now is peace. You know, you don't know which way to go. You don't, you know what I mean? In this situation, for others of you guys, it's like you see what others are doing, and you're the one that's feeling a little bit discouraged. You see what I'm saying? You're just like, man, how in the hell is they doing this and I can't do it? You see what I'm saying? It's like a two-part message in there, you know, and at this point, you really kind of just want to just go home. You want to just chill, you know, and that's a place that you feel complete at, but it's hard for you to get to that point of completion in this investment. You see what I'm saying? And that drive is starting to fail. You know, it's starting to fall back, and you're not exactly really wanting to keep moving in the direction that that you were headed. You about just don't even want to do this shit no more. You know, and now in the future when you taking shots, we have the 16 in reverse, the 2 in reverse. Okay, I thought we were finna go for 3 major arcanas for a second and in reverse, but no, we got that Knight of Bowls right side up. And remember, the energy that we are emphasizing on is the energy of insecurity. All right. I see in the future that the all is really trying to bring something. The universe is really trying to bring something back to you. You know, it's a new start, a new beginning. It's going to be something that you can't see. You see what I'm saying? And wait. All right. You probably don't want to hear this. The universe is definitely bringing something to you, all right? But I think what it is, it's not going to be any good to you, you know what I mean? And there's a lesson that you're going to have to learn. The further that you go into the situation, the more shots that you're going to take. And as much as I hate to say it, in this situation, you're probably going to take a loss in this. You know, you're probably going to either have to just walk away and just accept your losses, or, you know, if you're selling out, then you might have to take less than what you put into it. You know, either way it go, you kind of take a loss into this. You know, the thing about it is that it's going to work for somebody else. You know, it's going to be a better investment for somebody else. It's this thing in here about intuition that's throwing me off. Like, whose intuition is this? It's just, I know it's just not going to be anything that you want, anything that you desire, but what can you do when you just taking shots, you taking arrows? Let me show you this card. That's what I mean when I'm saying you taking shots, you taking arrows, you know, you just getting hit all around your fulfillment, you losing in this situation. But there is, for some of you guys, whoever I was saying was back in here that might be jealous. They might be somebody's plotting, you know what I mean? But they know that they can do more with whatever this is than you are doing with it. All right, it's like a candy salesman, you know, a car salesman or something. Say you got a car and you trying to sell cars, but you're not a car salesperson. You know what I mean? You just made this investment. You know, you're trying to get rid of it. And this car salesperson that's going to give you less than what you put in. You see what I'm saying? If it's a relationship, then someone else might get more out of the person you with than what you're gonna get. You see what I'm saying? But they're willing to put in, but they know what to do with it. You know what I mean? They know what to do with that situation. And it's just like I said from the beginning, you know, it might be time to walk away, to get away from whatever situation this is, whatever risk you had taken. All right, let's get some summaries going on. In the past, we got the Queen of Vessels in reverse. In the present, we have the Ace of Vessels. In the future, we have the Three of Bowls in reverse. All right. In the past, you got the Salmon in reverse, the Queen of Vessels, and you know that means that the Salmon is going downhill. You see what I'm saying? I mean, downstream. Not necessarily a bad thing, you know, but it's just like, all right, they went and planted those seeds, they went and laid their eggs, and when Samus go downstream, they go downstream to die, you know. But that and tarot death is something different. It's not about just like physically dying, you know. It's about letting something go and kind of just starting over again. And that's probably what you did in this past with this investment. You were just looking for a new start, for a new beginning, you know, and it didn't really quite. It wasn't about to really work out for you. Coming to the present, you have the Ace of Vessels, the Waters of Life, you know, and someone is watching you, you know what I mean? I think you kind of was just like really just doing too much, overdoing it, overthinking the situation. You see what I'm saying? If you had a partner in this, you know, or was dealing with somebody in this, the ball was in their court the whole time, and the ball was never in your court, you know, and they were plotting on you. They were plotting on you, Cancer. You see what I'm saying? But you couldn't see it. All you could see was the prize. All you could see was the mission that was ahead for you. You see what I'm saying? But you definitely should be opening your eyes and taking a look and seeing what's going on. Now will be the time to walk away. In the future, we had that 3 of balls in reverse, and that's another 3. That's another show of the divine being involved, but this is in reverse, you know what I'm saying? So the divine is just like, look, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. You should be done with it. You know, you're gonna feel some hurt. You're gonna feel some pain behind this, Cancer. You know, I hate delivering messages like this. You know, they're negative. It's negative messages. You know what I mean? There's nothing that feels good about the situation. But there is a lack of healing going on in the situation, where everything was coming down the one road, and you know, was probably trying to feel good for you. You trying to involve others and all that. You need to separate from these, because everything's now is going to get a little bit more chaotic, you know, if you're not walking away. And that could be this too. It could be you just walking away and just kind of just taking those licks, taking your losses. But it seemed like where everything was just coming down the one road and opened up, and all these different paths came up, and it's just like you find yourself everywhere in the situation. But in all actuality, you really just need to walk away from whatever it is. You need to walk away. Let's get this final message from the universe. Sorry, Cancer. Yeah, there's 4 vessels in reverse. It's about being ungrounded. You know, possibly just like living a little, having a possibly about living a little, having a little fun, you know, getting out this house, you know what I mean, going home or whatever, finding your peace, getting away from the situation. This situation is not serving your purpose, okay? It's ungrounded, you know, it has you ungrounded, and it's just something that's just a better investment or whatever for someone else, even if it's a person. Okay, that person may be a better investment for somebody else. If it's a business venture, if it's just whatever it is, it's a better investment for somebody else. Let's go back here into these fortune cookies. We have viewer. Focus on science, especially medicine and dietary concerns. I really feel like that's saying something about taking care of yourself. Okay, just not trying to reinvent the wheel, all right? Surrender to the divine. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind, agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface. No matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card, matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. And the tune to the moon is, I am getting the answers I need. I don't don't know, it's just something in that message, man, that kind of just, I mean, it works with the reading, you know, but there's still something that's just, you know, it sounds a lot more positive than the outcome of this reading is, you know what I mean? This reading is really just about strength, the strength to be able to move on and to walk away from something. We had the message cards, might want to hold on to this one. You don't have to be bigger than this situation, and you don't have time for this, all right? All right, let's pull 3 more message cards, and that's going to be it for your reading, Cancer. Quit wasting their time. Taurus energy, take your time, take things slow. It's okay to spoil someone, especially if it's you. And something you did in your past life is standing in the way of your future. Something you did in your past life is standing in the way of your future. It's all going to be okay, Cancer. You know what I mean? This is a sign, this is a message saying that it's just time to walk away. You know, regardless of how good it feels, how much you care, or how much you just know that you can make things right, that you can make things happen in this situation, it just might not be healthy for you. You know, focus on the science of it. You know, science reveals things that theories can't. All right? I am Tarot King the Prophet. This has been another Crown King Tarot presentation. Thank you for tuning in and joining me, Cancer. Love, light, blessings, and peace.